Looks great. Okay, everyone, welcome to the Qualified Podcast. My name is Bryce, founder of CloseBot. I have with me today Jeff Lopez, who is the owner of Bot Launch. He has tons of experience running agencies, driving some into the ground, learning a lot of hard lessons. Now he coaches some of the most highly successful marketing agencies in the world on how to sell AI. Welcome, Jeff.
Dude, you gave me like a great intro. I feel you boosted my confidence. I like this. I need to start every podcast like this.
We met, has it been 2 years? A year?
Like, I think it's like a little over a year. I want to say it was like February of last year. So like we're over a year.
Yeah, dude. And our lives have changed a lot since then. Yours and mine both.
For sure, dude.
I met yours and you had an agency at that time.
Yeah, just exited. Yeah.
You don't anymore. Now, why is that?
Man, yeah, let me know if you want me to stop rambling. But long story short, man, like I was trying to solve a problem that, and I'll go deeper later, but that CloseBot solved. And I didn't know it solved it until you came down here. And when you sat at that little white table and showed me and Charles like how it worked, we implemented it for one of our clients. 3 weeks later, we implemented it for like 21 more clients. And then like businesses were coming out of the woodwork because I was like just bragging, like not bragging, but I was like so excited just to tell everybody about how AI is getting our clients more like business. And then everybody's like, well, it'll work for this, it'll work for this, it'll work for this. And I'm like, yo, there's something to this. Like, so that being said, like it changed my life. Like I was planning on running my agency, going even deeper than we already were. And then when I saw how big of a need there was for all these businesses, I'm not gonna lie, at first I got greedy. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna sell every client in the world. But then I was like, okay, I'm overly ambitious here. I cannot do that. And I started sharing it with other marketers and they started having the same success as me. So that being said, we morphed into working with all types of businesses and then somehow ended up just teaching a bunch of marketers. And now we're like having this huge ripple effect, which is insane.
Yes. Now your agency was what?
So specifically, Plus Marketing was my agency side. And we worked with very niche chiropractors doing body contouring by way of red light therapy. So extremely niche. I'll go ahead and say, and without fear of sounding braggadocious here, but we're the best in the world at what we do. And we absolutely just destroyed that industry in a good way.
And you've since exited.
Yes.
You're now all in just on teaching marketing agencies how to build and sell AI, right? Is that right? Build and sell?
Yeah, build and sell. Yeah, I mean, more selling. I mean, we Charles, I think he's built more bots than probably anybody except you. And I don't know.
Probably more than me too.
I was gonna say
probably more than me.
He might have actually built more. But yeah, teaching how to build and sell, because a lot of people know how to build things. Not a lot of people know how to sell things, and unless you marry the two, you're gonna have one hell of a go running a marketing agency.
Yeah, I've seen. It's like that whole "build it and they will come" thing. That's not how it works.
Gosh. Yeah, that's a fairy tale. Yeah.
Like you don't have to be the best. It helps. It helps if you're the best, but man, you got to sell it.
Absolutely. That's all that matters. Yeah. Figure it out later. Nothing sets a fire under your butt like selling something to somebody you don't know how to do and then having to figure it out. Like, I think that's, to me, the best way to learn.
So you've obviously sold a lot of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm typically not as much of a salesperson. I like to build product. Is that the biggest downfall you see with marketing agencies, them building product and not selling, or is it something else?
No, I'd say that's really it. And maybe like
that's it. That is the one thing.
That's the one thing. Like the biggest thing is they think they need to build this like super complex mousetrap and know how every piece of material building into that mousetrap works and how it goes together in 17 different ways. And they spend so much time consumed with like how it'll work and like planning out this perfect vision of like what this should look like for clients. Problem is they're not getting client feedback along the way. And then when they start working with real clients, they realize that they spent 90% too much time actually trying to perfect this thing when they could get away with just 10% of what they're doing.
Yeah. Optimizing things that should be deleted, thrown in the garbage.
Yeah. It's funny.
And you would know if you just got feedback.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's funny because like, I got the privilege of my business partner, Charles, like he's a young guy, 22, now 23 years old, 22 when I met him. And he came from not the marketing world. Like he was in construction. And I was just like, dude, this kid is ambitious. I was like, I got to get him out of like, breaking his back to make money. Took him out to Level Up Summit couple years back. And like we came out of there like, yo, let's start a SaaS. Like, and I was like, this should be easy. Like I've made millions in my marketing agency. Let me get him out of construction. He's ambitious. He'll figure it out. And he spent so much time building these complex things as he learned it. And like, I remember going to the office and he's like, dude, check this out. And it's like this freaking web. And I'm like, bro, that's way too complicated. He's like, yeah, but it does do. And I'm like a real business does not need all that. And then it's funny because we started getting clients and he started like installing that. And he's like, dude, I had to strip away like 75% of this. He was like, you're right. I'm like, bro, it's just like, I've been through the game. It's not like, I'm just like saying things. It's like, I've done it all. Like I've been there. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And they tell us all the time in SaaS Academy, SaaS tastes like chicken. Business is the same way.
That's awesome.
You know what that means? You know what they mean by that?
Please unpack that for a second.
Like, it's all the same. Businesses, they think they're special. They come into their onboarding call and all of them are like, man, our business is special. It's unique. I don't know if you can handle this.
Right.
It tastes like chicken. It's all the same thing.
Dude,
they all need the same thing. They need leads qualified, like inbound leads. They need reactivation campaigns. You're always looking to get someone's name, email, phone number, and then whether or not they're interested, book them on a call. Like you don't have to overcomplicate it. They're not special.
You're absolutely right. I'm going to use that one now. I'll quote you, of course. But SaaS tastes like chicken. It's funny because like that's like a huge thing with everybody on both sides of like the coin too. Like because business owners, when you go approach them, like you just said, it's like, oh, but my business, all this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Do you need people to buy your stuff? And that's how you make money and how you grow. Yeah. Okay. At the end of the day, it's all relative. It's the same dang thing. And then on the flip side, agency owners think kind of the same way. They're like, yeah, but it's different. I got to know this. And if I only knew this thing and if I could put it all together, it's like, bro, like you've been doing this for 4 years and you're not any further along in your journey. Like I've seen too many people stuck in that trap.
So when someone comes into Bot Launch, how do you go about assessing their agency health?
Yeah. So big thing is, I think we've got it down to a pretty good process, like with our videos. But I mean, Charles is hopping on a lot of calls and a lot of it is not in a bad way, but like breaking down the mindset. Because a lot of people come in, it's like, oh, how do I do all these things? And we're like, hang on. How many clients do you have? What is your goal here? Like, what are you trying to do? And they always start off with these super ambitious, I'm trying to get this bot to do this and, fly me to Mars with Elon. And I'm like, whoa, calm down. and Charles like just brings them down to earth. And we're like, okay, well, look, if your goal is to grow, don't focus on the selling. In fact, we made a bot that will literally sell itself in any industry for you. Set that up. Don't worry about anything else. In fact, like worry so little about everything else that you spend 75% of your time prospecting. Because if you go prospecting and you get somebody that bites and they say yes, don't freak out. Let me or let Charles know or one of our members, like we'll literally help you build the bot. And then they just get that under their belt and they actually start talking to people. That's all it takes. Because I mean, you've built such a good product and AI itself has so much like spotlight or attention on it right now. It's the easiest thing in the world to sell. Like business owners hear about it. They know they need it. They have no clue how to implement it. But they also have this huge problem or underlying problem that they need more business. They need to make more money. My favorite types of businesses, they're spending money to acquire customers. They're running ads and stuff, but they're lazy on the follow-up, whether they want to call it lazy or they got other priorities or their business is different. If they just focused on this one thing, following up with leads, which they don't want to do, they would solve a lot of their problems. So when we just tell them, go out and talk to people that are running ads and tell them, hey, your leads aren't converting like they should, or if you want to get more out of what you're already doing, we can help you. And just watch ears perk up, watch eyes get wide. And then have those conversations, because the more conversations like that you have, the more you understand that even though every business is different, they're all pretty cookie cutter. Like they all want the same thing. And then you just position the AI, CloseBot, as the thing. And when people start doing that, there's like this psychological like break that happens, which is, it's really cool because when they hop on their first call or so, all these questions about tech, like 2, 3, 4 calls. Sometimes it takes longer for that, but then they come back. I sold my first bot. And it's like something unlocks. And they're like, I was overcomplicating everything.
They break that seal.
Yeah.
Once you get that first one, you break it. Like it's like an enlightenment moment. Yeah. They get it. Yeah. Then they can do that again and again. They see how like, okay, selling is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories of anyone who is particularly hard-headed? And I'm not like fishing for specific people. I don't know who's in your community, but I'm sure you've had people that have been hard set on, no, I know I have to build it better before I sell.
My business partner, Charles, for one, was like that in the beginning. Like, because as soon as you showed him what he could do, he was like, oh, let me see how far I can take
I'm
this. And like,
sure.
build. And I'll take some credit. Like, this stuff is fun. Like, that's the other thing is like, it's fun and we want to build these things. So like when Charles learned it, I tried not to mess with it or learn it. And then you started, or like you were doing more videos, he was doing videos, and I was like, okay, let me play with it. And then I went down that same path. But one story that sticks out in particular is like, we got this lady named Kay Benton. She's from the UK. And she came in, she just got introduced to high level, like I think it was November, December of last year that she said, but I just did a spotlight session with her, and she was talking about, she's like, you know, you watch all these YouTubes, and she has like the most awesome UK accents. I'm not going to try and recreate it. I don't know. But it's so cool to like hear her talk. But she's like, you know, I went down all these rabbit holes of like missed call text back. I'm going to sell that. And this, I'm going to sell that. And like, you know, I came in thinking I had to know all these things, but like then you just told me to sell. So I just hit the phones. She's like, I don't even like calling people. She was like, I just did it. I called, I got better and better. And then I finally got my first client. She's like, I've only got one client, but she's like, I'm over the moon. Like it actually works. And she's like, if I would just spend all my time prospecting. And again, her excitement in that accident just makes that story a million times better. But like, she's one of the first, or one of the most recent, I would say, that had that same kind of mindset. If you build it, they'll come. If you know how to do all the things, you'll make a lot of money. No, we just go out and sell and, you know, let it rip.
You see it all the time. Multiple products come up in the market, and it's not always the best that wins. Like a VHS Betamax, you know, that story. Yep. Like VHS 1, it wasn't the best product.
Yep.
They were just louder. Like, you got to be loud.
That's a good way to put it. That's exactly what you got to be. Yeah. Attention, sell.
Okay. So you've had hard-headed people. They've been through your program. They come out the other side winners.
Oh, yeah.
That is the story I'm hearing.
That's the culture of Bot Launch, man. Like it's so cool. We even got these, I can't speak on it yet because I haven't dropped them in the group, but we got these new hats coming out for people that close deals.
Sick.
It is cool, man. I just had probably the biggest win, and like I want to verify it and everything. You're probably gonna want to do this case study too. We had a guy in, I don't know if he's current Air Force, not Joey. It's another one. Like Joey had a huge win too, but this is even bigger. I had a guy come in and like we showed him how to package everything, and he started selling packages with CloseBot and then voice, $12K a pop. Gets really good at this, and then 2 weeks ago he was in Dallas, and he came to the call, and we do confetti poppers every time somebody closes a deal on these weekly calls. And he's like, how many confetti poppers you got? It's like, I got more than you got wins. He's like, I don't know about that. And I was like, what? I ran it. I grabbed like 50 of them, put them on the table. And he's like, you ready? It's like, yeah, let's go. Like thinking he was just overhyping this up. He's like, I did a 25, maybe 30-minute presentation to a group of like high net worth real estate individuals. He's like, I sold 6 people at $30,000 a build and $3,000 a month. He did over 200 grand in a week, quit his job, hired Joey, like, and now they're like Air Force buddies and partners, but he did over $200,000 in like a week or 10 days. It might even be more than that now, but, and again, it's not selling anything any more complex. It's just solving what would be considered a bigger need or just a higher value problem. And it's crazy because I mean, it's the same strategy, whether you're selling to the dentist or you're selling to high net worth real estate investors. They all have the same need, and it's just different value to different people. Just talk to people, go get loud, put it out there. So that was huge.
And like, you don't have to fulfill up front is the main thing. So he went out, he did that, he did the sale. He probably wasn't ready to fulfill that many orders right away.
Not at all.
But like, when do you do your hardest studying? Right before a test or 3 months before a test?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You're going to get that A. You're going to study your ass off right before the test. If you have that many people relying on you, like, you're going to fulfill.
Yeah, it's funny. I still treat everything like that. I'm in a pretty expensive like coaching program right now for webinars, and I was up till 4 a.m. doing my homework last night. So I was studying real hard right before the test this morning.
Dude. Right? And that's how we get stuff done. I mean, you're in your position. I'm in my position because we do things, ask questions later. It's a lot of work that we sign ourselves up for, but like, was I going to do that work if I didn't have thousands of customers depending on me? Probably not.
Absolutely. And also I'd take it a step further on that too. Like, and I'd like your feedback on this. Cause like, I feel like it's less work to do it the way we do it, like jump in head first versus spending these long time periods of like trying to figure everything out. We're not making money. And I feel like that's more of a vicious and like, I guess, just really tough cycle to be in versus go out and figure it out, Problems are going to come. But the cool thing is money's coming in and problems are a little bit easier to solve when you're making money.
When I built CloseBot, yeah, that's absolutely right. So if you had come and told me, hey, Bryce, I want you to build this lead qualification bot that does these things, go. You can't talk to anyone for 6 months. At the end of it, I would have spent so much work developing things that probably don't matter. Mm-hmm. But instead, I had customers right away, put it out there. And then the rest, like the next 2 years was just me taking their feedback and only working on those things.
Man. Yep.
So they tell you what to work on. The rest like doesn't matter. I don't have to build that. They don't want it.
Yeah. And actually I want to shout you out for a second on here. Because that's what to me like makes CloseBot. And like I was just talking to somebody about this, I don't know, a couple of days ago. Like we're doing another webinar tomorrow, but like people were asking like, what do you use like for AI? And I was like, I mean, is there anything else other than CloseBot? They're like, oh, why don't you use such and such? And I was like, when you find a founder or like somebody that builds a product and they're absolutely 1000% like obsessed with it, but not only that, like, they just obsess over like making that customer experience better and faster, I guess, to success. That's the company I'm putting my cards behind every single time. And like, I was trying to like, there's only a few companies I see that are like that. Like I put you in that same boat. I think high level in some degrees. I don't think they're the best at everything that they do, but they do have that obsession. And like, that's another one I put my cards behind. And then school recently, like Sam Ovens and Alex Hermosi, like they're doing the updates like you. And it's like, I've noticed this pattern of businesses I like. They're very transparent. They're always telling people what they're doing, but then they're always getting feedback and not just building something for the sake of building it. It's like, Bryce, what are you struggling with? What do you want? Here you go. And you do that with CloseBot. Yeah. And it's like, it has made it such a phenomenal product. Like,
thank you, man.
No, thank you. Like, like it is an amazing product.
Tell you what, we went through our feature requests a couple days ago. We had 200 feature requests, and I knocked out 100 of them that V2 is solving. So I was able to go in, clean it up, revise the roadmap, delete a bunch of those that really don't matter anymore, and then finally took the feature request link off of the V1 because, as you know, V2 is coming soon.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. Like, yeah, people
felt good.
Start making up problems to put on that feature request because
there will always be things.
I'm sure, because their business is different.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, they need things to do other than sell.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And again, props, kudos to you, like Max, Jared. I mean, your wife, the whole team is like phenomenal. And I'm not here to like just boost your ego, but just you changed my life. And I keep saying it. It's just like bot launch wouldn't be a thing like if it wasn't for all this. And you literally like changed the entire trajectory of my life. And it's just, I love what I do. Like I went home from office 4 a.m. last night. Oh, crazy story. Anyways, that's for another time. And then I got back here at like 10:30 a.m. and like I was still excited to be here. I was like, I get to work on a webinar to teach people about AI. Like I love this stuff. Like it is, man, it's beautiful. Don't feel like work whatsoever.
And I want to say like the feeling's mutual because our best customers are in bot launch. So that helps us too.
That makes me
You're obviously doing something right.
It makes me feel so good, man. I mean, we treat it probably like you treat it. And again, I didn't know that it would blossom into what it is. It was just more like a side project because it's like, we're doing this. Well, all these other people are struggling. Hey, here's some of what we're doing. Try it. And then it was like, oh, you got it to work. Okay, cool. You got it to work. Oh, it's working for you too. And then it was like, okay, we got these new problems now. It's like everybody's closing clients. Like, hey, do you have a website? And it's like they bring what they're struggling with, and we've spent so much time knocking out those obstacles. Like, oh, you don't have a website? Guess what? I just called Russell Brunson's personal funnel designer and paid him to build 2 websites for us so you guys can all have them. So it's like, no excuse now. You have a website, and just knocking out all these obstacles, like, so their time to
that's crazy
cash is as fast as possible.
And I've heard, I don't know if you still do this, like hopping on calls to close deals for people.
I don't do it anymore. I did do that because like, I told you in the very beginning, I was like, watch, I'm going to sell a build for like $15,000, like, which nobody at the time had done, did it. And then it was like, oh, it's because you're Jeff. Like you sell all this. And I was like, all right, whatever. Let's hop on. Like, so I started hopping on calls. I helped somebody close a $10,000 deal. Helped somebody, actually 2 people close a $10,000 deal. One of them took like 4 calls. I was like, dang, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to close this deal. And then now that same guy, Joey, helped him close that first deal. He made over $25,000 from that client within 6 months. They got hell of an ROI. And now, I don't know if you know, but he has Mike Tyson as a client. And it's like, it launched his career.
Dude.
Like, he's doing stuff for Mike Tyson's like school, like AI. Like, it's insane. I'm like, that's my favorite boxer ever. So cool.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Let's go into your community. I know we have a community, you have a community. That's been such a tremendous liftoff for us, having that back end of people that stand behind you and what you do. How do you grow a community from scratch? How did you do it with zero in bot launch? Man,
so I think it's kind of probably a similar path to like you, because I've never been like one to set out and build a community. Like I don't ever like, that's never been like my skill set. My skill set is sales. But the biggest thing is like me and Charles like wanted to start documenting everything that we were doing and growing this business, because we had been burnt by a lot of other things in the industry, like in the go high level, the gurus, so to speak. And so it was like, man, like the stuff they're teaching sucks. Like you can't really grow a business like this. Like let's document everything we're doing. So we did it for our own purpose. If we ever started to like teach, and people started coming around, how do you do that? It's like, oh, I don't have time to show you, but like if you want to see my sales call, I closed a $15,000 deal. Check it out. People started seeing that and they're like, hey, can I try it? Can I see that? Can I see that? And then they started asking questions. I'm like, oh, well, here's the scripts. And like, it just turned into this, like, we just started giving everything that we're using for us. And it really helped a lot of people. So other people were telling like, hey, like these guys' free stuff is better than most people's paid stuff. And we built up a pretty big free base like group there. And I was like, oh gosh, we got something on our hands. But again, it was just like, I obsess over like the bot launch members' success, even more so than mine. I know I'm gonna go sell a $15,000 deal. If somebody's on the other line buying something from me, they're buying it. Like it's not even like, I don't, as bad as it sounds, like it doesn't do anything for me when I close something. But if you came to me and you had never sold something before and you get your first $1,500 deal or even $1,000 deal, $10,000 deal, I don't know like how to explain that feeling. It is the best high in the world. And like, I think people see that. Like we do Monday and Friday calls every single week. And the first thing we start off is celebrating everybody's wins. Like, I don't care how little of a win it is. Like, to me, that's everything, because you see that it's possible. And I think people really start to see like how much we care about them and their success. And I don't think that that's like very common in today's like day and age. So I think when you do stuff like that and you truly care about the success of others and helping them achieve their goal, or just helping better their life, like, I mean, people start to gravitate toward that. And it's like a movement. Like, I don't even feel like Bot Launch is like just my community. Like, it's me, Charles, of course, but like, it's all the members in Bot Launch that make it what it is. They're talking about it just as much as I am, pulling people in. So you just got to create that culture of like, I care about you. I want you to succeed. What do you need from me? And we're all doing this together. So I love it.
So there are a couple of things to unpack there. And yeah, I'm the same way. The leading indicator of my success is the success that I can bring others.
Yep.
The lagging indicator is monthly recurring revenue growth on my end. So if I provide a bunch of value to someone else, I know my monthly recurring revenue is going to grow. I don't have to worry about that. I know they're tied.
Yeah.
But then when you can also crowdsource that same community of people you've helped to help other people, that is scale. That's the equivalent of like having an ad campaign you can just pour dollars into and it grows your business. Yeah. You just pour energy, pour positivity into your community, knowing they'll help each other. And then on the other end, your lagging indicator of revenue growth for your own business skyrockets too.
Yeah. And tell me if it's the same for you. Cause like, obviously I'm in a very fortunate place, like having my agency and the different companies. So I'm not like necessarily worried about money in a sense. But it's like, if I set out to build the best group ever, like with that objective or get as many customers or make as much money as possible, like I really don't think it would be the same as like, I'm just trying to, I don't care if it's one person in my community or 2 or 6. If I just care so much about them and like helping them get that result, everything else just seems to follow. Like you said, the lagging indicator. But it's like, as soon as you shift your focus on like, how do I make this the best thing for that person, for the time, like, you know, for right now, like what they need. And then everything else just follows suit. We just launched an affiliate program for Bot Launch, which is sick. And like, I think we did like 4,000, like there's $4,000 we're paying out in commissions, like just from this last week, which is from 0 to like, just in a week, like $4,000 worth of commissions being paid out. I'm just like, that's crazy. Like people are telling other people about it and like, they're making money off it too. It's like, I don't know. It just feels like a fairy tale right now.
Yeah. And that's not going to change.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Like as as long as you just keep providing value, that doesn't change. It just grows faster.
Man, yeah.
For us, absolutely agree. It's changed a little bit now because we have investors in our product too. So we obviously really want to show them revenue growth. So that's brought new importance on revenue growth, which means I just focus that much harder in the community, in the product, providing value to other people, because in the end, that's what makes our investors happy.
Yeah, and you've been going overtime with it, man. Like I see all your posts, I'm like, they must got a CloseBot Bryce. Like he is doing more than any human can. You're doing a phenomenal job, man.
Thank you. Well, we have Jesse, our CMO, Laura's operations. We have 12 people on staff now, full time. So
you got an army.
Like it's humming along smoothly, and that makes me feel better about our product too. So I've realized how much work, how much energy it goes into like building a team, having the standard operating procedures, having everything run smoothly, the tasks, like calendars. There's so much shit. So much that goes into it. Like, and you're probably feeling the same thing now. Like you guys have a ton of people in bot launch. So managing all that.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's no easy task.
Yeah, I mean, I will say you probably have a much more serious of task, and obviously with investors and more strictly ran company, and rightfully so. Yeah, I think we just like hit the 3,000 mark as far as like total people between our Facebook group, our email list, our free school that we just launched, and then our accelerator. But it's really cool, and like having over 215 people like in our paid community now, it's like insane. Like it's so cool, and it's to the point now where like I thought it was going to be much harder to run it at this point with that many people to support. But it's like somebody asked a question, and like by the time I get to it, it's like 10 other people have answered that question for them. Like I'm like, dude, this is so freaking cool. Like it's like
that's amazing.
It's like everybody works for bot launch without working for bot launch, and everybody just wants to see each other win. I don't get it. I've never experienced this before.
Yeah, we have very similar communities. It's crazy to me, and like kudos to you. Like all those people have a paid subscription to a bot building service, more than likely, or they're paying for high level, you know, and they've decided to pay you too because they can't do it without you.
Yeah. And they basically, I look at it as like they're paying to accelerate their, accelerator, no pun intended, really, but just accelerate that journey. And then I think people get in there and it's like the community is unlike anything else. It's like people like they're in the trenches together type of thing. And people pay a lot for that because there's no better feeling than, I mean, like you right now talking to you about this stuff. It's not a lot of people I can just go out and like hang out with friends. And I say like that because it's like we just don't talk about the same things. But like when you're in a community and everybody's doing and talking about the same thing, you don't ever want to leave that. So.
That's interesting too, because they come in, they find success, but they don't leave because the community is also awesome. It's not like you just provide awesome training, they learn it, and then they're like, well, deuces, I learned it. Now I'm making a bunch of money. They stay for the community.
Yeah. That's what I thought would happen because it's like, I mean, there's only so much you need to learn. Like it's all rinse and repeat type stuff. But yes, everybody stays and they keep showing up to the calls. And I'm like, dude, you just closed $200,000 in a week. What are you doing here? Like,
what are you doing on this call?
Yeah, like I'm surprised to see you. Like, it's like, what? You should be starting your own group now. But it's really cool to see him come back. And I think it's also really cool because there's like two things that happen usually, like with people having these wins. And again, we do it every single week. And sometimes the wins portion lasts an entire hour, which is a lot. But at the same time, it's motivating to the new people coming in. Like the same time he had announced that one day, we just had a webinar that Amanda did. And we had like 10 people join. I think 4 or 5 of them were on the call. And it's like, they come into this group. They don't know me at all. They don't know Charles at all. Like they've seen Amanda maybe a couple times. But then they see like all these people like, I did this, I did that. And, you know, that's an extreme scenario, the 200K in like a week, which is insane. But then it was other people like, I got my first bot to work and it closed the deal for my client. And then they're just coming in and just like, this is amazing. Like, and it's like, yeah, like this isn't your average community, man. Like we do this stuff. So, I mean, it's just, I could talk all day about it. Like I love my members. They're amazing.
That's why you're successful.
It's fun.
Yeah, you care about them. You're providing value.
They make it
easy. When someone comes in and they ask the imminent question, like, how much do I sell this for? Yeah. And they say, how much do I sell this for? What What do you say? Obviously, there are a lot of variables that go into that.
I made it very easy, actually. I just came up with this new formula.
Good.
I'm going to make a video on it with like a whiteboard and stuff. But honestly, the easiest way that I could say is if you're looking at the right businesses in this equation, you're smart because you're going to understand this equation and you're going to get that one of the variables doesn't even matter. But I take how many lost opportunities they have times. Oh, sorry. What an opportunity to them is potentially worth times lost opportunities, and then just divided by what that thing equated to. Now, again, I'm going to break this down on a whiteboard because I just butchered the hell out of that, to be honest. But for instance, let's just take a car detailer, for example. They sell $2,000 ceramic coatings, and they're probably losing at least 60% of leads that are coming in from Facebook ads. So I'm like, okay, well, what's one of these worth to them? $2,000. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll just times that by 1, and that's what you charge the setup. So like charge them $2,000. Okay, that makes sense. Now, roofer, same thing. You can do it, and this is what Kevin's doing. He's charging $30,000 for like real estate investors and stuff. But literally, what's one opportunity worth to them? And are you confident that you can help them achieve one more per month and just charge them one of those? Like it's the easiest like kind of formula in the world. Because that's like everybody always asks, and again, but my business is different, but this person, that, it's like, it does not matter. Like, first off, charge what you're comfortable charging. If you're not comfortable charging big amounts, just charge $997 for your first one, get it under your belt, and then, $297 a month. But as soon as you get that, double your prices, $2,000, go to $497 a month. But then again, what I'm looking at is like, okay, a roofer, one job makes them most likely $25,000. Their lowest job, probably $8,000 to $10,000. So we have no problem charging $10,000. And in fact, a lot of people in the community charge roofers $10,000, $1,000 a month, and they'll get their yearly return on investment like within a quarter at I guess maximum. So again, I'm gonna make a video. I realize I probably butchered the hell out of that, but really just take what one opportunity is worth that your client's trying to bring in,
and that's your setup fee.
That's your setup fee, and then you really shouldn't be charging less than $497 a month for what this is. And like my new training, I'm saying $697 and $997 a month because I made a post the other day and we had a few people join because I made this post, but there was like somebody asked, what should I charge? And this was in high level. And I seen like these people that have been in the game for a while, like, oh, don't charge a setup fee. It's so easy to install and $197 a month. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to ruffle some feathers. Like literally like, hey, I'm about to ruffle some feathers here. I was like, it's honestly clear that like these people saying don't charge a setup fee or charge like, hundreds of dollars have never experienced the pain of having to pay somebody thousands of dollars a month or literally hundreds of thousands of dollars per year like I have. I had 2 people on my team. I was paying $5,000 a month each to follow up with leads. It's $120,000 a year. I was also paying call centers, both foreign and domestic. The domestic one was $2,500 to $3,000 per month per client for my higher volume clinics. And when you're paying those types of things and you really break it down that AI, a one-time setup fee, and then even $1,000 a month is absolutely pennies on the dollar and will do a way better job, you're still shooting yourself in the foot at $1,000 a month. The only reason I don't charge more than that on average is because there is still this like, it's so new. Like not every business owner fully understands it until they see it. So we'll kind of stair step them up the price. But honestly, I mean, $1,000 a month for this is nothing to the right business because they're paying somebody to screw around on TikTok. They're paying them at least $2,000 a month for a part-timer that's cares more about what's going on TikTok than following up with your leads. So, but again,
and do you grandfather them in? Like if you early days, you sell someone on it.
So there is a few. And again, because CloseBot and conversational AI was new to me, like I didn't understand what I could do with it. So there are a few people that are on that, but going forward, like in our contracts and proposals, and we give these all the bot launch people, but like we let them know that like, hey, we can't guarantee that OpenAI, Anthropic, these places aren't going to make changes. There's not going to be new models. There's not going to be higher costs incurred, et cetera. And I've actually started teaching my like bot launch people how to actually raise the price. Because a lot of people like Amanda, she came in and one of her first clients, like she was charging $197 a month. And like she came on the call, she's like, I'm doing so much work for $197 a month. Like, how do I get them up? She's like, it's been a lifelong client. Da, 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 da. It's like, well, tell them. I was like, it's perfect timing. Because I think like, I don't know what the new ChatGPT is. I'm not like an AI expert by any means, but whatever the new one, 4.0, 4.5, I don't know what just came out, but it was around that time. And I was like, perfect timing. I was like, go to your client, say, hey, OpenAI just released a new update. That doesn't mean a lot to you, but that means a little bit higher costs for me. And I now have to hire additional support team members to keep up with the changes because they're making them so frequently with the competition in AI right now. Again, doesn't matter to you, Mr. Client or customer. However, I am going to be having to raise prices to build out this infrastructure so I can better support you. And it's like, go to them, say that. They're probably going to fight you back. So do it. Do that and couple it with, I'm going to be going to $697 a month for all my new users. But since you've been a client since day one, et cetera, I can keep you at the $497 price point. I was like, they're probably going to fight you on it, but you're also throwing in that they're giving them a good deal. She did that. Of course, they came back and fought her on it. I was like, okay, this is where you got to stand your ground. And I told them, I was like, okay, send the email. Be okay with, and it's funny because like we were on a call with a bunch of people and I was like, Amanda, if you lose this client, I will give you $500 a month. Like, don't even worry about, like, I just need you to understand how this works. And I want to show everybody that when you put your foot down, people are going to complain until you put your foot down. And then what was crazy is she sent that. They were freaking out at first. A few days passed. People come back. She's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to turn it off at the end of this time since, you know, you don't want to move forward. A couple days more pass and they came back. They're like, you know what? We'll do it. We'll do it. We understand. They couldn't go without it. Raise the price literally 2.5 times. Not only that, within a week of doing that, they sent her 2 referrals and she just closed a $6K deal with $600 a month recurring referral from that person that was pissed off that they raised the price. Like, it makes no sense at all. And I told her, I was like, this is exactly what happens. But it was a good learning experience for everybody because it's like, when you don't know what to charge, you do undersell yourself. But as long as you kind of, like I said, we put it in the contracts and proposals now so that they have this process for raising those prices. Long-winded story, but yeah, I mean, you can, with the way technology is advancing and the buzzword DeepSeek, Manus, and all this stuff, how competitive it's getting, I mean, there's an easy way to move people up to higher pricing. I hope that made sense.
That's true. That's very true. And it's not a lie.
It's not.
It's true. Yep. The faster things are changing, the more work it takes for you agencies to stay on top of things. And at CloseBot, we handle a lot of that for you. But still, you did a lot of research to end up with CloseBot, and you should be compensated very well for that. You took the risk to get a CloseBot account, learn it, set it up. Yep. Like, it's not free. You should be compensated.
Yeah, and staying on top of the changes and stuff. I mean, and again, shout out you guys. Like, it's really not a big deal with CloseBot because you guys do so much of the underlying prompting and stuff for us. But again, it's just a way to like move people up when you came in too low to begin with. And a lot of people make that mistake, and I get it. It's like a confidence thing. But as soon as you get a few clients under your belt, as soon as you understand how the process works, and as soon as you see the results that you get for your clients, you're like, oh, this is worth a lot more than I'm charging for it. And then just
once they activate, they need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the nice thing with this. It's like a CRM. Like, once they're in there, they can't not have a CRM.
Yeah.
Once they get these AI agents qualifying their leads, booking appointments, they can't turn it off because they've fired their front desk person.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it's like you just figured out about electricity. You really want to go back to candles? I mean, right. That's really what it is. So, man.
So where's the future for AI in your opinion? Where are we headed?
Future of AI. It's a good question. To be honest, like I said, I'm not like super on the cutting edge of AI. Like, I like to stay in my lane. Like, I think there's so much life right now in helping businesses with this one particular thing, lead qualification, and just getting more out of what they're spending on marketing. I think that's a big bubble that we're in right now. And I guess window that we're in of opportunity to focus on that for the next 12 to 18 months, like voice AI, conversational AI, and just helping people implement that. Now, of course, I see like the NVIDIA keynotes, the, Gemini and Google, all this stuff, man, all this stuff that's coming out. I actually try not to watch that stuff because the marketer in me wants to like go and freaking play with it and learn. And I did that like for a weekend a few months ago, and like it threw me off. Like, I wasn't focused on selling the AI solutions that I knew about because I knew there was so much better stuff out there. But then I realized businesses don't care. They need this problem solved. So that's all I'm focusing on for the next probably 12 to 18 months. I think is a huge window right now to ride.
That's probably a good thing you can teach people too, is laser focus.
Yeah, that's been the one thing that's like helped me immensely because I got that squirrel attention span for sure.
It's a skill. I don't look into things right away. because we have a very clear roadmap. I know foundationally what AI is and how it works. So I know when I hear something and it's likely too good to be true.
Yeah.
That's a harsh way to put it. Like Manus, I haven't played with it.
Yeah.
I know what it would be capable based on the foundational models and what they're capable of. But these foundational models, like the non-reasoning models, they're not getting better. So applications like that can only get so good. Yeah. We use AI to write a bunch of our code. It makes so many mistakes that we have to fix.
Dang.
There's only so much tools like that we'll be able to do without like foundational changes that make drastic leaps forward. So something people are talking about is like, man, developers, they're going away. Like they should be scared for their jobs. 90% of all code written is going to be by AI. I don't disagree. But that 90% is code that's like so easy to write. It's not writing the final 10%. That's the hard stuff.
That's a good way to put it.
That's like, and to write that 10%, you have to have this bigger vision of everything the business wants to do in the future. Like if I know I want a dashboard that shows things in a certain way someday, I have to prepare for that now. Like that's something I was on my team with today. We know we want to show how much more you're on track to make this month using AI compared to last month. That's a percentage change.
Yeah.
And like you would never think to tell AI, by the way, I need the dashboard to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Like there's too much stuff to put out there.
That's a good
But because we're humans and like we know all the context, we can account for it. We can make plans now that set us up for the future. AI just can't do that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And I've seen that. I mean, you take the story of ClickFunnels. Their ClickFunnels Classic, they built it, but it wasn't built with the vision of it being as big as it was. So they had to rebuild V2 from the ground up, or 2.0. And it caused a lot of problems for them. But that makes a lot of sense, like not having that vision in the front end. And yeah, you wouldn't be able to train AI on that necessarily, at least not right now. So maybe a few years from now.
Yeah, there's just, even then, there are too many things that it wouldn't know. Yeah. You wouldn't know to tell it.
True. Man.
But I just know what's important.
Yeah.
It's so hard to convey that to people. Like you can only type in so much stuff. And by the way, 2 years from now, I want to be able to do this. And next year I want it to be able to do this. But right now it has to do this. Take all that stuff into consideration and build this thing. Yeah. Like not happening. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, you gave me you put my mind at ease a little bit there. Probably some developers watching this too. They're like, yeah, he's got a good point. My job's safe for a little while. So
that's awesome. I've seen there's a funny thing going around the dev community. Like for AI to be able to take the job of developers, the managers would have to be able to adequately describe what the hell they want. And they can't even do that to humans.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably not even a thing. Yeah.
No, that just won't happen. Same thing with like these AI agents and lead qualification and booking. People are afraid that like, man, someday it's going to be so easy that a business could just do it by themselves. Like, where am I going as an agency? Am I going to get cut out? And the answer is no. Like, nothing against roofers, but have you talked to them about tech? Like,
it's just not their focus. And we're to that point, and just to like put everybody's mind at ease for that, it's like, the businesses I'm working with don't want to do that stuff. Like they're great at what they do. They're a great roofer. Like they do that stuff. And like, I'm even to the point where like, when we have something that we want done, like when the community wanted a funnel, it's like, I could build a funnel, built plenty of funnels, made a lot of money with funnels. It's like, let me go to the guy that does that. Hired Russell Brunson's guy, Daniel, built a sick funnel. And it's like, even though we have a community, I could have I'm just going to go to find the person and get it done fast and get it done right. And there's still people out there like that. And those are honestly the best people to work with anyways. So,
and to him, that guy that built your funnel, what he did seems like elementary, probably.
Yeah, probably.
He's probably like, I can't believe people pay me to do this. Like, especially Jeff, he knows how to build a funnel. Why didn't he do this? Well, he knows so many things. He's forgotten more than people like myself in sales will ever know. And he doesn't know that. So marketing agencies that are scared, like, man, someday AI is going to be able to do this. It's going to be so easy for the businesses. Well, that's just because it seems easy to you because you've learned it. You know it. It's easy for
live
you.
it right now. Yeah.
It is like hieroglyphics to a roofer to even think about objectives.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had to type in what they want their bot to do, they'd probably be like, I don't know, I want it to like qualify the lead for me and then book an appointment. They wouldn't be able to specify because they wouldn't know. I need it to get a name. I need it to get a phone number.
Yeah.
Their address. They don't know that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Cause like we used to have a demo where it's like we sent people to a page and it's like, what are your qualifying questions? And no business owner could fill that out properly. So we're like, don't ever send anybody to that. You won't have any form fills. Like, or if they do, they're going to be, your bot's going to look stupid because they don't know how to talk to it. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Agencies are not going away anytime soon. In fact, they'll probably accelerate in, popularity. So.
Yeah, because we see businesses trying it themselves and they fail, and then they search desperately for an agency, and then they succeed. Yeah. Similarly to how your community, they try it on their own. They focus on building. They focus on product. They don't focus on the selling. They're about to fail, crash and burn. They find bot launch. They succeed. Like there will always be something like that.
Yeah, for sure. I just looked up stats. I don't quote me on where they came from, but for the webinar tomorrow, I was looking up stats and it said, I think it was 83% of businesses are like, know they want to incorporate AI into their strategy, but don't know how. But the other cool stat was like, it was like top business leaders at like big companies that did invest in AI. 97% of them showed positive ROI. So like, that being said, everybody wants it, doesn't know how to install it into their business, but then also 97 out of 100% of businesses that are installing this are having success with it. I don't know if you know how many businesses are out there. I don't. I just know all the marketers combined as one giant army couldn't handle all the businesses that are out there in installing AI. Yeah. This is a need that's going to, the next 5 to 10 years at least, of just a golden era. So
sometimes to us, it feels saturated. People are like, man, there's so many marketing agencies out there. But like,
have you seen them?
When your customer base is literally any business ever, like there are not nearly enough marketing agencies to cover that need.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be the cookie guy if you wanted to and crush the cookie industry. You could be the Cairo guy. I mean, you could pick a niche. So yeah, you got the pickings right now. And then I love like, again, CloseBot's growing, but in comparison to how many marketers are out there, like it's just a sliver of a fraction of the people out there right now. Like everybody using CloseBot does not know how much of like an advantage that they have right now. It's Excalibur they're wielding. So
no kidding. And dude, you wait. Like V2, something we're focused on now is like the dashboard, all the numbers we need to show you guys to show you that you're winning, show the businesses you support their KPIs. And like, it's just going to, like for your business that you support to be able to go in, log in and see that they're winning. That's what you really need.
Real quick, random idea. I'm not a developer, so I don't know how hard or easy this is. Is it ClickUp or Monday.com that like when you complete a task, the confetti drops down? I think you guys should incorporate some cool stuff. Like when AI has done some cool thing, the confetti goes, and just because celebrating wins goes so freaking far. Like, oh man, that's like Bryce giving you a fist bump every time your AI is crushing it. Confetti down. So,
well, dude, Jeff, you have been a huge part of the community. Bot Launch is amazing. Anyone listening to this that's not a part of Bot Launch, go join Bot Launch. Hit Jeff up if you have any questions. Charles, what's the best place they can find you?
Oh man, botlaunchfree.com. I just got a domain to forward straight to our free school community. Go in there. There's tons of free resources. Get your feet wet. If you want to go faster, we got something for that. But botlaunchfree.com, we're in there. Come join us.
Cool. Thank you so much for dropping so much value on this call. I will see you around. Our paths cross almost daily.
Yeah, likewise, man. I'm excited. Can't wait to see where V2 takes us. So.
Thanks, guys. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, Spotify, Apple Music, share with your friends, and I'll talk to you next time.